6:02 is your time. Let's get over to the live desk. Maria Lizignoli, you are following some changes to those controversial flock cameras from the CEO of the company. These are license plate reader cameras we're talking about.
Yes, that's right. Flock Safety CEO Garrett Langley is announcing some changes to how the cameras will operate. And it comes as more Minnesota communities are parting ways with the automatic license plate reading cameras. On Thursday, for the first time, Langley apologized for instances where data collected by flock cameras has been misused, including some cases where police officers allegedly used the technology to stalk women. He says the company is rolling out changes to its system. Those include cutting down the time that data will be retained to now 7 days, but it will be saved longer if deemed evidence in an investigation. Flock customers can also limit which types of offenses outside agencies can search for in its system. And law enforcement will have a tool that will aim to flag abnormal search behavior.
I think hindsight is a brutal tool, but hindsight tends to be very clear. And I think, of course, we could have done more earlier. And we listen and we learn and we'll continue to move forward because until everyone has an equal level of safety in this country, we have work to do.
Now, still, several Minnesota communities are cutting the cord with the controversial cameras, and online there's continued backlash. Coming up in the next half hour, hear from a local social media user who is now racking up millions of views online by damaging these flock cameras.
Right, and we know these cameras controversial here in Minnesota for being used for immigration enforcement too.
Right.
So lots of things to talk about. All right, Maria, thank you.
We're learning new details about what led up to a double murder-suicide on Wednesday at a Hopkins daycare. Newly released documents reveal there were, quote, relationship issues between the suspect and his wife before family tragedy that shocked 2 suburban cities. About 2 weeks ago, a parent with a connection to that in-home daycare in Hopkins said she received a notice from the owner. That notice said the owner planned to close the daycare due to relationship troubles with her husband. It was that husband who killed her and their 7-year-old daughter, along with a 78-year-old relative, before taking his own life. Advocates for domestic violence survivors say while this is a horrifying story, it's unfortunately not a surprising one.
Violence Free Minnesota says family murder-suicides happen once every 5 days in the United States, and the vast majority of the time in these violent incidents, it's men killing women. 85% of the time that man uses a gun, and that's where, according to these new court documents, that this case is unusual. Now, WCCO spoke with Nikki Engel. She's the co-executive director of Violence Free Minnesota. She says that the alleged perpetrator may have felt that he was losing control. Engel says attempts to leave a relationship are associated with higher rates of lethality. About 50% of the time in these instances of murder-suicide, the suspect does not have any prior criminal convictions, and that is the case here. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the abuse began with murder.
Homicide is the culmination and escalation of abuse, not a moment where there was nothing to point to it beforehand. Conclusions, unfortunately.
So Engel says it's also common for other family members to be targeted in these crimes.
Violence Free Minnesota is a coalition of organizations that help survivors. You can call their 24/7 hotline at the number on your screen. That's 866-223-1111, or go to thehotline.org for places to find help across Minnesota.
Right now, investigators are searching for a man who escaped the courtroom before a judge could sentence him for a deadly crime. So a few months back, Lorenzo Washington pleaded guilty to a crash that had killed someone at a St. Paul church. All of this starting with a traffic stop in 2024. A trooper had stopped Washington for speeding on 94, and then Washington, took off. There was a chase until Washington crashed into a car. This was parked at Gustavus Adolphus Lutheran Church. The 36-year-old man who was inside that car died. Washington's sentencing was scheduled for Thursday morning. Court documents say that he showed up but, quote, fled the courtroom prior to sentencing, and now there is a warrant out for his arrest. Happening today, the man accused of killing a Minnesota executive is expected to plead guilty in federal court.
28-year-old Luigi Mangione is accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in a 2024 over in New York. Mangione is charged in both federal and state court with Thompson's death. He's previously pleaded not guilty in both cases, but sources tell CBS News Mangione is expected to admit to charges related to the death of Thompson. Those sources say Mangione is discussing a possible plea deal with federal prosecutors prosecutors ahead of his court appearance this morning. We have new details about that cyber attack on Minnesota's water supply. We've learned a group linked to Iran has claimed responsibility.
And that attack hit more than 30 Minnesota cities last month. It caused varying degrees of problems. Now, we knew federal investigators were looking into whether Iran was behind these cyber attacks. But now, Auburn University's McCreary Institute says that an Iranian-linked group put out a statement claiming that the attacks were conducted to, quote, only to warn of their broader capabilities to strike U.S. critical infrastructure. State leaders say that the drinking water was never compromised.
This morning, the Pentagon is pushing back against reports of poor conditions on the USS Abraham Lincoln. The aircraft carrier has been deployed for more than 260 days without going to port in the war with Iran.
Now, CBS News' Jared Hill tells us now there are worries about the mental health of thousands of service members who are aboard that ship.
Growing concerns over conditions aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln. The ship deployed for a staggering 9 months and counting, 3 months longer than a typical deployment.
They should not be deployed this long.
Jefferson Kelly's son Jackson is on his first deployment aboard the aircraft carrier. He and some of the other family members of the roughly 5,000 sailors and Marines on board say they're concerned about the length of the deployment. Worries about the impact on their mental health have also been raised.
These are old ships. They take a lot of maintenance, a lot of work. It's around the clock. You're doing something, and you're in a war zone.
CBS News has learned an investigation is underway after a sailor went overboard earlier this month. They were quickly rescued, but this comes as service members' families clashed with Acting Navy Secretary Hung Chow during a heated town hall last week over the difficult conditions. Now, Congress is demanding answers. In a letter to Chow and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, Connecticut Senator Richard Blumenthal cited widespread reports of shortages of basic supplies, water contamination, plumbing issues, and deteriorating mental health. On Newsmax, Hegseth said reports of poor conditions are, quote, completely misrepresented.
We make sure that every ship, every crew, every captain has everything we can provide them at every single moment.
Hegseth added that he's grateful for the sailors' sacrifice, and he also wants them home as soon as possible. Jared Hill, CBS News.
The Pentagon is also pushing back against reports of deteriorating conditions on the USS Abraham Lincoln. They're calling those false. Officials add that the carrier has one of the highest crew re-enlistment rates at 84%.